Now you see many guitarists online who are saying, how can I improve my speed? How can I play as fast as I possibly can? How can I replicate this solo? Well, I'm not really an advocate of that. Now, I'm going to explain why I don't think that's a very good idea. Now, even when you hear a guitarist playing a really fast solo, if it's like in a full-on signed band, a famous band, it's more than just the fast notes. There are things like phrasing, there's tone, there's all sorts of other things to think about. And really, the speed at which you play actually doesn't say anything in your solo. It just says that person's playing fast. You can be a non-musician and learn a solo. No point in doing that. It's about the context in which you're playing. Now, I'm a music examiner. And when we listen to a piece of music, we are listening to five, or rather we are marking and we are critiquing based on 5 criteria. We've got pitch, time, tone, shape, performance. Pitch, is it in tune? Are the notes right? Time, are the rhythms correct? And if they are correct, is there also some flexibility with those rhythms? Tone, are you getting a nice sound out of your instrument? Shape, is there dynamic contrast? Is there phrasing? Performance, are you engaging the listener? Nowhere in any of those 5 criteria is the candidate playing as fast as they can and being flashy, because it's not important. It really isn't. So what I've got here is a backing track, a garage band backing track. It's just bass, drums and keys. Just an A minor thing, so I can do my A minor pentatonic. And I can, of course, use extra notes according to the particular chord. I could do things like that over this. But the speed is not important. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play along with this backing track for a few bars slowly and with some sort of phrasing. And then I'm going to play fast with no phrasing at all. And you'll hear that the second one is basically a mess. Second half of that was just a nonsense. It was just a row, and it also involved me playing so fast that I sort of tripped up on myself. And it didn't say anything. There was no phrasing there at all. I just sort of just made sure I trotted out as many notes as I could. Now, you could make a pretty decent solo out of 2 notes. You think, well, how are you going to do that? How's that exploratory? Well, tone, rhythm, dynamics, placement of notes, all sorts of things. So I'll do that. Here we go. Yes, of course, after a while you're going to get, yeah, I'd quite like to play something else. But the point is, it's just allowing you to concentrate on things like rhythm and vibrato, slides, hammer-ons, pulls, all that sort of thing, without worrying about the other notes. Now, adding a third note means that you can start playing chords, maybe. I mean, that sounds pretty sort of crunchy, but it might work over this. also allows you to time bends. Things like guitar are really useful in that respect because you have all this freedom to do vibrato and pulls and bends and all of that sort of stuff. Whereas if you're playing lots of notes really fast, you've ridden roughshod over those other techniques that really can make your guitar solo really expressive. I have a relative who, every time, I don't have caller recognition on my phone, unfortunately, but I think, oh God, I think that's an hour up the chute, because the telephone conversation is just, there's no punctuation marks in the conversation, and that's the sort of telephone conversation equivalent of a solo that just keeps going no matter what, and it's really tiring because you can't get a word in edgeways. There's no phrasing, there's no nothing. It's just it's kind of, it doesn't mean anything. It means so little. That means much, much more. So when you're playing a solo, just think, well, yes, it would be nice to have maybe a few little trump cards so you could mix the fast and the slow. So perhaps most of your solo could be this expressive thing, but with some little sort of flashy lines along the way. Etc. So there's plenty of gaps in there. You can go. Don't feel you have to fill everything, because actually it makes much more sense when you don't. So there's my take on fast playing. I don't really see the point in it per se. Sure, it's nice to be able to have a few little flashy things, but actually what you don't play sometimes means much, much more.